Good morning, everybody. My name is Donna Callender, and I'm here with you on this absolutely gloriously beautiful Wednesday to share lots of amazing hints, tips, and tricks regarding social media. And today, one of the things that we're going to focus on is the best of. So last week, we looked a little bit about the best in places. So we found businesses getting the most engagement across various places in the country. And then today, we're actually going to take some ideas from the best in leisure, hospitality. So we're looking at sort of, hotels, bars, food, various other things. And remember, you don't have to be in that industry. The idea is that these are the best of, aka they're getting the most engagement across independents and nationals. And then what we're doing is I'm breaking that down for you guys today, giving you guys some ideas, and hopefully you guys can apply that to your own businesses. Well, as always, if you've got any questions whatsoever, just pop it in the Q&A and then I'll try and answer as we go. If there's anything that I've not covered that you want me to cover, please pop it in there and then I'll try and make sure that I do that in the next couple of weeks as well. So today, what we're going to cover is building on reviews and accolades. So how you can do that, supplier specials and why you should be focusing on your suppliers on social media. Some behind the scenes ideas, looking at the detail, hashtags, why they're still important, and how businesses are using them, some ideas on some reels, and then some ideas on how you guys can ask for opinions, because people absolutely love to give opinions on social media. It drives engagement. So this is how I find all of this stuff. So basically, when you are in the Baby platform, you go in and these are all of the public lists. So we've got them all just sitting there and they're ready. So you can literally see top councils, local authorities, top food and retail businesses. They've got them split into independent and national. So sometimes whilst you might have a direct competitor down the road, sometimes one of the best things you can do is look at sector and look at the businesses that are getting the most engagement in a sector, so that then you can look at why, because it might be that actually, whilst they're not direct competition, you might be able to learn from them, you might be able to get some ideas, because if it works for them, why wouldn't it work for you? Also helps you keep an eye on competition that might be around the UK. But as I say, I would use it more just like to learn from your competitors, learn by other people that are doing really well. And as you can see, literally, we have it all there. So we've got, sorry, just move my face there. So we've got the amount of followers they've got. We've got their best post. You can literally click in and view their best post. You can see their calendar. So you can see literally their whole content calendar for the last week. And you can compare as well. So you can use them as your comparison. We do this because 79.1% of consumers in the UK spend over an hour on social media a day, and 19% of businesses have active social media accounts. So what we want to do is bridge that gap, make sure that you guys are connecting with your audience, and guess what? They're all on social media. So that is what we're doing here today. We help over 25,000 businesses get more out of social media with ways to compare your social media performance to any other business. As I said, you literally look at any business in the UK, crack on, go on, compare, analyze, get some ideas. You can use all the social media tools and insights to use social media more effectively. So literally, we've got everything in there from your ads to scheduling your content to AI, which helps you physically write your content now. We've got all the national days in there, loads of really, really good stuff. So make sure that you use it. And access even to expert resources and training to help you communicate better. So you've got the likes of myself sitting there doing these webinars. We've got other drop-in sessions, we've got trainings, so many great things. And remember, if you're ever not sure what to do, when you go into Maybe platform, there's a little blue button on the bottom right, just click on that and one of us will help you. Right, we're actually going to start with what I think is quite random actually, but I absolutely love it. So I looked at literally that list that I earlier on. I looked for the in hospitality, leisure, that kind of thing, because we don't feature them probably enough, and actually there's loads of great ideas that you can get from it. So if you have never had the absolute joys of going to Blackpool, love Blackpool. This is Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And again, if you don't know it, it's a giant theme park that's there. It's been there forever and ever and ever. And obviously they use Instagram to drive people there. So they do loads of great stuff. They've got shows, they've got, obviously roller coasters and everything in between. But one of the things that they did, which I think any business could learn from, is they were voted by Traveller's Choice in 2023 the best of the best. So they were voted the 8th best amusement park in the whole world. Now, bear in mind, the world is a pretty big place. There are loads of amazing amusement parks, especially like in a lot of like different countries. And the fact that good old Blackpool got 8th, I think is massive. It's actually really, really big. So there it says, we're proud to say we've been awarded 2023's Traveller's Choice of Amusement Park and Water Park, number 8 in the world and number 4 in Europe, and that's climbing 6 places from 2022. Now, that's massive. So if you have won any award, you've been given any accolade, if even it is a case of that you got a 5 out of 5 on your latest ratings by some local board or something like that, if they're coming to check like your hygiene levels or something like that, people love it. People love celebrating any little tiny thing. If you've raised £100 for charity, if you have I don't know, like if one of the people in your team has received some kind of award. And if you haven't actually looked at any of this stuff yet, go for awards. Like that's what this kind of stuff's for. Whilst you might be voted for certain things, there's great awards bodies out there, like Muddy Stilettos is a big one that I've seen loads of independent retailers talking about over the last couple of years. And what you can do is get people to vote. So again, that's a really good way of getting content on there. So you could literally apply, and then assuming that you are shortlisted, then you can put the voting on there, get people behind you. But I've seen social media used really, really well for that. But for this, it's just giving us ideas. That's what it is. I'm not saying that you need to suddenly become Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I'm just saying it is a really good way of showing how you can celebrate an accolade and indeed talk about it. So all they've done is got their image there, and then they've just added in the Traveller's Choice 2023 best of the best. So normally when you get given an award, you get given a logo. Again, whether it is a local awards or some kind of tourism one, or whether it's something to do with food, or indeed whether it's more of a kind of Muddy Stilettos general one, anything like that, use it. And then if you've been awarded something physically, take a picture of yourself with it, take a picture of your team with it. That is something to be proud of. We've shown on here, I'm sure it was a coffee shop. They got amazing engagement because they celebrated their hygiene levels, and it was on a day when I think everything had gone to pot, basically. So different things had gone wrong that day. The staff hadn't turned up, loads of different stuff. And one member of staff managed to keep it all together, took the person around, showed them everything, and they got, I think, whatever the top rating was. And people went crazy for it because the owner of the business was celebrating their team member. So just an idea, but it's something that sounds really simple, but actually we'll probably forget, because guess what? You celebrate it at the time and then you just got on to the next thing. So even if it was something that happened a while ago, do a throwback to when you last did. So yeah, I just really, really like that, because that got the more engagement than quite a lot of other, like if you look at some of these, right, cute list, obviously, yeah, that got some decent engagement, 7 comments, 13 comments on this one. But yeah, really, really good. People like celebrating positive stuff. Right. Got loads to cover today, so I'm going to whiz through this a little bit. Cubitt House. Now, this is more around suppliers. Now, all of us have a supplier. It doesn't matter what business you're in. It doesn't matter whether it is literally the guy that supplies your pens and your paper or your receipt reels, or whether it is literally that you only work with local suppliers for your business because you're in the food business and it's local, I don't know, local produce, local meat, whatever it might be. Now, this is Cubitt House. And what they have done is they normally use their Instagram to showcase their place, to try and obviously drive people physically down. And they normally do that through lots of sexy like pictures, lots of little videos and things like that, showing I guess the setup of it on the inside, and that gives you that FOMO. But this I absolutely love. So this is our latest Cubitt House #supplier series. Took us to the beautiful Hampshire countryside, home to Coates and Seeley. So I'm going to show you the little video and then we can chat about it. Hopefully you can see this okay. How gorgeous is that? So I'm going to play it in the background while we talk about it now. 15 years ago, two old friends, Nicholas Coates and Christian Seeley, embarked on a journey to produce a sparkling wine that rivaled the best in the world. Blah, 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 tucked in a valley. I mean, it's beautifully worded, so I'm just saying blah, 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 because it's quite long. But fast forward a decade later, and their sparkling wines are now listed in royal palaces, Michelin star restaurants, and iconic houses such as ourselves, aka Cubitt House. I absolutely love this because basically they're doing a series. There you go, supplier series. So if you click into that, you'll be able to see all their other ones. But essentially what they're doing is, you know, this is their food, and what they're doing is showcasing where they get it from. So they've invested time, effort, and by the looks of that, a little bit of cash, to go and to film at the, you know, at some of their suppliers, to obviously receive a talk about, you know, like how it's all made, etc. And they've got all the detail, and then they've popped it in a post, they've tagged them in. It's a beautiful post anyway, because let's face it, I mean, that's, you know, that video itself is going to be done by a videographer. It's very well done, it's beautiful. However, there is no reason why anybody couldn't do that. Maybe not, yes, to that scale, but you know what? iPhones are amazing these days. All the other phones, to be honest, like, you know, they're all amazing these days in terms of like picture quality and things like that. Literally armed with one of these, a phone, you can go out and you could say, right, okay, I want to go to a couple of my suppliers this month and I want to do some filming with them, where maybe you do a Q&A, you know, like how did their business start? Why did they do it in the first place? Where did they get all of their produce? Let's meet the team. Anything to do with even doing a reel of, you know, something being made, if it's cheese, if it's, you know, I don't know, yogurt, it doesn't matter, wine, doing any of that. Ultimately, people buy from people, but people really, particularly after COVID, want to support local. They want to support independence, and they want to support, you know, like that kind of whole British owned kind of businesses. So if you have anything like that, go and phone up your suppliers and say, you know, we'll come along for the day. Or indeed, if you don't have time, then all you need to do is get them to do it. They should be doing this kind of anyway. They should be doing this way. Ask them to send you them, and then you can put it up together. And then literally at the end of it, you show the end product. So it might be this, you know, a plate with all of the different bits from each of your suppliers. Always make sure you tag them in. The reason why they do this is because, as I say, you know, it gives you that respect and that understanding of, you know, like where they're getting all of their produce from, and the fact that it's really well thought out. And it's obviously for them, it's, you know, about a standard, you know, it's, you know, that if it's a Michelin star, etc., you know, then you're expecting expensive, you're expecting a standard, you're expecting, you know, top notch. But for even if you're a local deli, the idea is the same. It is about us understanding where you source things from, how things are made, what you know, what process goes into it, your supplier relationships. Equally, the supplier will have a whole load of followers that will naturally then gravitate towards you, because once you've tagged them in, they'll probably reshare the post, tag you in. So that gets you new eyes on your feed. It gives that kind of like respect to your existing customers, that they know what they're, you know, they know what they're getting. Equally, the new people going on there will go, oh God, you know, I didn't know that they did that. And then I just want you to have a look at the hashtags. They've done great on the hashtags. So they've got the local, so they've got the Hampshire, Visit England, Wine Lovers, etc., which all makes sense. So they're looking at the place, they're looking at the thing, which is the product. They're looking at anybody who's visiting. So again, it's that kind of idea that, you know, if you're visiting and just looking for stuff to do, then why wouldn't you want to go and visit this place? And they've got the local. So they've got that really, really nice mix in. So yeah, if you've got suppliers, get out there, film, get some good stuff about them, or at the very least get them to send you some stuff, and get tagging, because honestly, it'll improve your engagement, improve your reach, get you new eyes on your feed, and also, of course, it just improves your supplier relationships as well. This very, very different thing for us to do, and you're probably wondering what this is about, but this is the Royal Collection Trust. And of course, I mean, let's face it, it's about the royal family, royal collection. And I'm just going to mention the reason why I've shown this. Now, this came up top in terms of like leisure, hospitality, basically like a visit place, you know, somewhere to go and visit. As you can see, what they normally do is like show some of the beautiful houses, and they've got like all the castles and all the palaces and all the different things as part of the royal collection. So they'd like to show everything, and obviously celebrating the coronation and things like that. But any business can learn from this bit, right? This is about giving people that fear of missing out, that thing that takes you from, that looks quite interesting, I might go to, oh, I really want to go to that. So let's have a little look. Simple but effective. I immediately am going, oh, I want to see behind the secret door. I want to see where they go. I want to see what happens. You're immediately intrigued. Now, any business can do this, right? Show the secrets behind your business. This might be a recipe, some recipe that's been passed down from someone's gran for the last 50 years, and it's used in your special sauce. This could be I don't know, the reason that you did your logo the way that you did it is because actually it was about your pet dog, from when you were a kid. It could literally be as simple as those things. Or you might have something pretty cool. It might be that, I don't know, people have said that your business is, like the house that you're in or something like that is haunted. It could be anything at all. Anything like that is social media gold. You don't have to be the royal family to do this. So dig deep, think about what people don't know about you. That if you were in a quiz or something and somebody said, tell us one thing that nobody would ever know about you or the public wouldn't know about you, what's that for your business? Obviously a positive thing. And then share it. That's what social media is all about, especially if you've got an event coming up, because what they wanted to do was to get people to come in and visit the room. So they were trying to promote it. So immediately you would want to come and visit that because you're going, oh, especially tourists, anyone that's not gone before, to immediately be interested in that. It gives you an extra thing to go and see, a reason to go, oh, I saw the secret door. It feels like that's just for you. So share the secrets, share the things behind the business that nobody knows, because honestly, like, it is super, super simple, but it's thinking about why. So for me, it might be, why I came up with the name of my business. It might be, I don't know, the reason that you called your dog the name that you called it. Anything like that, people just love it. So just, get creative, but put all that kind of stuff on social, because as much as you think it doesn't matter, it actually does. And if the Royal Collection can do it, why can't we? This, oh my God, it just makes me so hungry every single time. Right, so this is bar 44 tapas. So this is not a big sort of royal family. This is a business. And here you can see normally what they show are their, like they do like little competitions, and they show like their summer offers and that kind of thing, but they always show their beautiful food, they show their tapas, they show their menus, all that kind of thing. This was their Spanish Sunday sharing roasts. So here they've got a couple of they've got a couple of venues. So they're talking about where you can get it done. But it's all about the food core. We talk about this, it's the M&S effect. It is that, placing everything out on plates, having, maybe like a nice background. So they've got the nice wooden table, which makes it feel very rustic, and it does make it feel very like sort of like somewhere between British and Spanish. You can see that obviously they've got like that kind of Yorkshire food, you've got the baked potatoes and stuff, but then you've got that kind of Spanishy feel. So, but it's the detail. So here they go into all the details. So they've got, your dry aged Hereford, and you've got your chorizo, you've got your roasted potatoes, you've got your manchego, cauliflower cheese. So they've really done that British Spanish kind of like fusion, and they've gone hell for leather on it. So anyone who's already on there will immediately look at that. Everyone loves a Sunday roast, whether you're veggie or not, or vegan, anything like that. There's always a good Sunday roast somewhere that you can get. But so the picture alone is enough to make you go, yum, what is this? Then the little caption, which is, Spanish sharing roast. Again, that's quite different. I'm getting a sharing roast. It's something a wee bit different, something that, you know, that feels Merry Family. I immediately know that it's available in these two places. I know all of the things that are in it, so I don't need to sort of go and look up a menu and decide if it's something for me. It's either a bit of me or it's not a bit of me, so I'll make a decision off the back of that. And then they've got some nice little hashtags. So they've gone for the local hashtags. They've obviously got their own. And then they've gone for, I mean, those are going to be big hashtags, like your roast beef, your shade and roast, and your Sunday roast. They're going to be huge hashtags. So you're going to have a little competition within that in terms of coming up to people. But local ones, really, really good. So what can you learn from that? Is that look, everybody loves it. People have tagged people in, they've gone delicious. Someone's asking where the gravy is. Couldn't agree more. I've got a feeling it might be this wee bit up here, maybe. Where is the gravy? Right, I understand that. But then clearly you've got like a little sauce or something there. But that's the whole point in doing something with food. When you put it onto social media, people have an opinion. People love to ask where things are. People are going, well, what's this? I don't like this. I like this, blah, 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 blah. But it does get people tagging. So if you want to get people tagging, especially if you do anything to do with like sort of food, drinks, anything like very visual, think about the layout and give us the detail. Give us a detail. I might have even gone as far as doing a little video of somebody, you know, like a little reel, somebody, you know, time lapse of someone putting that together might be quite nice as well, just to, you know, add a bit of extra sort of, I don't know, texture to it if you like, but really, really good. It just shows you that that has got them more engagement than most of their other ones, and that is purely because the image, and the detail, that's what's got them the engagement. Zoom's being a pickle. There we go. Right. So this is Dastan. This didn't get masses of engagement, but I want to show you why they did what they did and how it's become a bit of a theme for them, which I think any business can learn from. I'm just going to stop that for a second. Thank you very much. This is an absolutely beautiful restaurant. And as you can see, they do like their tasting menus. They've got they're trying to get people obviously to, you know, they're promoting like their Instagram. They show a lot of, I guess, what's going on in their restaurant. But here they've created like a little reel. So what I'm going to do is just show you a little video. Now, can you see why anybody would want to look at that over maybe one of the other posts? It's because it's visual, because it's sexy, all the food prep, it just makes you want to dig in and get involved. That's what that is asking us to do. It is asking us to come and have a curry. What I love about it is that it's got their signature feel. It's something that they do quite often, got their signature feel, but equally it's got like the really nice effects. So if you're watching it, you can see, you know, almost like the little paintbrush strokes going across it, and just adds, like, as I said, a little bit of texture, if you like, to the video. Again, these are all things that you can do in reels when you're making any of these videos on Instagram, etc. Like, you know, it's just effects that you can do. There's 100 different types. You're choosing an audio, you can choose one that is trending, so that again you're going to get more engagement, so you're going to get more reach by using a trending audio than what you do just using like a regular one. It's showing the menu, showing the cookbook, it's showing the people, it's showing all of the things. So in one video I get a real essence of why why people have chosen that one. Now, this one came up for indie restaurants. This was like one of the top most engaged ones of the week in terms of so it doesn't look like they've got a lot, but I kind of want to show you. So I mean, the video obviously captures you, but bear in mind that if you have 34 people engage with your post, right? And you're maybe a small restaurant or small place and you've got 34 people and maybe, I don't know, 300 followers or something like that. Those 34 people are likely to be the ones that actually book. That could fill your restaurant for the night. So don't underestimate the power of social media. Even if you've got a smaller following, you don't have to have 10,000 people and, 100 likes and 105 comments or anything like that. Sometimes it is the simple bits that actually drive the bookings. Equally, this screams to me like somebody has really thought about telling a story when it comes to the content. Savor the extraordinary, indulge in culinary journey at Dastan restaurant, immerse yourself in world flavors, etc., where every bite tells a story of unparalleled taste and passion. Now that is it's lovely content. It's really, really nice. On the Maybe platform, you could literally type in, write a post about the Indian culinary experience, and you could create something like that. No one's expecting you to be an amazing content writer. So if you're ever worried about not quite knowing what to say in your caption, in the Maybe platform, go to the content section, go to the AI section, and honestly, it is there. It will write it for you. So never ever worry about that. But I also wanted to show you the hashtags here. So you've got Gourmet Delights, you've got their own, you've got Culinary Excellence, Foodie Paradise, etc. Now, they don't have anything local. I would have gone crazy for the local because of where they are. I would have really focused on the sort of like Indian flavors, curry. I would have gone for, anything like that. So sometimes we think about hashtags, whilst those ones are good, they're really general and they're not going to be the ones that drive physical footfall. So if you need to drive physical footfall, really go hell for leather on the local as well. Look at what the big hashtags are in your area, and then think about why people are choosing it. So say it was Leeds, curry Leeds, Indian food Leeds. There's probably hashtags on that kind of stuff. So have a bit of a play with that if you want to drive the physical footfall. But those ones are nice in terms of the sentiment and the reason why they're doing them, I guess, but I wouldn't say that would normally drive like actual physical footfall, because these are going to be this, anybody could be following Gourmet Delights. So yeah, interesting one. Right, we are pushing our way through these now. All Bar One. Most people would have heard of an All Bar One. They're everywhere, and they are a bar and kind of like gastro bar, restaurant, pub, whatever you want to call it. Now, these guys normally do a lot of people there. They do a of the like team behind stuff. They do a little bit of like, this kind of thing's quite cool, like matching your outfit with your cocktail, that kind of thing, so they like to show, I guess, the ideas behind certain things like their food and their drinks, etc. This one I just quite liked. So it didn't get tons of engagement, so considering it's a national brand, it didn't get tons of engagement, but this is more just ideas for reels, because again, sometimes it's quite hard to come up with the ideas, and I really, really like this one. So it says All Bar One plus Birmingham plus your besties equals vibes. I'm sorry, that is a really good reel. They've used all of like the little templates, they've used all the different ways of like pulling together all of like the mix of videos, the mix of the slide in, slide out. They've done like a good audio. They're really showing the journey around the place. They're showing that it's very Instagrammable, isn't it? So they've done a good job with the place, but they are showing all of it. So they've got somebody almost taking you on a walkthrough tour. Why couldn't you do this as a business? Anybody could do this as a business, showing you know, it might be even if you're a local photographer, just show when you're out on location, you know, that how you would set stuff up, how you would do your studio. If you are a bar, cafe, take this and do it. Show the ins and outs, show like all of the, you know, that your coffee's being made, you know, like the salads, the sandwiches, whatever it might be. But it's very, very simple, really, really simple. And it is clever, it is engageable, and it's just really, really, really good content because it shows off one of their bars. So if you are looking for ideas for a reel, please think about walkthroughs, and then please think about how you could put the place and like the ambience, if you like, mixed with the food, mixed with the drinks, mixed with the thing. Again, I would have been probably quite nice to have some people in it as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, see some hands, but it would have been quite nice to have even like some people cheer, you know, like some as in faces, people cheersing, people looking like they're having lunch, that kind of thing. But really, really like it. It's such a good idea. And it does make you think of that, yeah, just nipping along with your bestie. If you're looking for somewhere to go, you might not maybe have considered All Bar One. And you might think, oh, that actually does look quite good. Can, you know, get a wee selfie there, can get a selfie on the stairs, you can eat, drink, be merry, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really, really good. I think this is our last one. This is another Reels idea, and I just love it. Now, Five Guys, everyone knows Five Guys. You really don't need me to go into detail on these guys, but they're all about the burgers. And let's show you it. Okay, right. I'm not going to show you the thing. You get the gist. He knows his milkshakes. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm not sure bacon milkshake is my thing, but you do you guys, you do you. But this is something that quite literally any business can do. Get your staff out, play some games, whether it's blindfolded and they've got to guess something, whether it is taste test, whether it is could be a beauty salon and getting people to paint nails blindfolded. It could be that you do a theme for something. It could be around a national day. So say it was National Milkshake Day, say it was National Donut Day, anything like that. You can do this. So I just thought it was a really, really good idea for a reel and not something that you would maybe naturally think of. Because I looked at it and thought, oh, that seems so obvious. Why haven't I thought of doing that before? So it is, and you know, we've done taste tests before, as reels with, you know, people going out and trying stuff with the general public out in the streets and things like that. So why couldn't you do it with your own team inside? You know, get them to, or even if it is just getting them to talk about, you know, like their favorites. Because what this does is it gets people then talking about the product. It gets people going, oh, that and bacon salted caramel. I'm not sure myself, that's my personal preference. Then it could just be that they're going, oh my god, I love that. Peanut, you know, people have gone for it, people have enjoyed it, people are getting involved. Bacon in a milkshake is disgusting, couldn't agree more. Strawberry and Oreo cream, delish. Yeah, people are commenting, so no one's winning anything. It's not a competition. There's not a, you know, you need to do this to do this. It is literally a guy sitting drinking some milkshakes and guessing whether he gets them right or not. So it's watchable, it's engageable, it is taggable. So yeah, what you know, what could you do in your business to emulate something like this? So have a little bit of a think about it. So speaking of national days, so again, there's loads of good ones coming up. And remember, these are all, this spreadsheet is something that we did originally, but they're all now integrated into the Maybe platform. So you can literally go in and see what national days are coming up for the week ahead when you are planning your content. So we're already in September, and I've covered September a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So I am going to look at October, because I mean, ideally, I'm not going to lie, if you could plan a month ahead, you would feel so much better if you could plan a month ahead, but you know, do what you can do. Right. Any of these. Now, again, going sober for October, loads of people do this. It's a really, really big thing. You could use it if you were a bar, for example, you could use it as an opportunity to promote your non-alcoholic options, your mocktails, your 0%, all that kind of thing. And again, it might attract like a whole new following, a whole new bunch of people to your business. It could be that you and your staff do it as like a bit of a challenge for yourself if it's nothing to do with alcohol. But you know, it's a really good thing for engagement. It's a big topic of conversation in October. So it's something, you know, that a lot of people do. So yeah, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with looking at, well, how can I support this? Can I introduce some non-alcoholic options in? And yeah, it's a good way of attracting a new clientele. I just pick the first kind of couple. National Bullying Prevention Month. Now that is a massive one, and that could be, you know, if you're a shopping centre, if you, because obviously you know that you would focus a lot on kids, if you're anything to do with kids and stuff, I think that it would be a good opportunity to maybe open the floor a little bit or collaborate. So it's a good opportunity to collaborate with maybe a charity. It might be letting people share their story. It might be about celebrating people that have overcome. It might be sharing your own story. But you know, people buy from people, and that bullying, especially with kids and stuff, it's something that, you know, everybody has encountered at some point in their lives, whether they've seen it themselves, whether they've even been a bully themselves, or whether they have been bullied. Somebody, you know, it's touched everybody. So it's something that, you know, we as adults even encounter. So I think that it's a big topic of conversation. Nothing to say as a business you should shy away from it. If anything, I think you might get a lot more engagement if you do it as like more of a positive, use it as a, you know, like let's all come together and that kind of thing. So it's another idea. And then maybe, I mean, you could do something for International Walk to School Month. Nothing wrong with that either. Getting people out and about. It could be that you could do a steps count challenge with your customers, where they win something at the end of it. You know, everybody shares their steps for the month. If they're walking their kids to school. I know that my daughter's school, they give little badges to the kids at the end of the month if they have not use their cars basically to get to school, which then ends up being like loads of pressure on parents to not use cars and to like park somewhere else and do a park and ride and that kind of thing. So yeah, again, might be another one that you could look at, even if it's nothing to do with your actual business and more just as a way of creating a bit of engagement, a bit of competition, a bit of, you know, a bit of something that you could do even with your staff members as well, including actually if you're a place, please promote stuff like that, because that's a good way of promoting all your walkways. It's a good way of promoting your you know, like anything that you're doing for the environment, even like, you know, reducing emissions, all that kind of stuff for the month. So remember, we've got all the tools and support you need. You can schedule, you do advertising, you can report, you can learn from any competitor. And then these are all the training sessions for the week. So on a Monday, you've got how to use Maybe. Tuesday, you've got social media basics. Wednesday is me. Thursday, ads for beginners. Friday, advanced ads. And then you've got your always on view on demand training. That is all the stuff that we have sat there recording throughout the week, where you get to listen to our lovely dulcet tones and learn about everything from how to do a reel through to why, I don't know, a baker in Aberdeen smashed it on Facebook for doing a live, everything like that. So key takeaways for me are: use the reviews you have in video and static content forms. Make sure you actually use them. Make sure that you apply for them. Apply for awards. Why not? Engage with your suppliers. It is gold for social media reach. So thinking back to earlier on when we were looking at the sort of supplier series, there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. In fact, it's a really, really positive thing to do. Behind the scenes and secret of the business, help create FOMO. So that's me going back to literally everything from why you change your signage to your logo to your painting, to why you hired a certain person, through to if you've got a secret passageway that leads somewhere, all of it. Give details, especially when it comes to food. So again, thinking about, you know, the food porn, thinking about, you know, the recipes, thinking about how something's made, thinking about where things are sourced, thinking about, you know, the detail of what goes into a particular menu. Hashtags are still a great way to get more eyes on your feed, so make sure you use them, but also think about like local. You know, if you want to drive physical footfall, you need the local as well. Use reels to give yourself a bit of a boost on reach. So thinking about the reel from All Bar One, it was really, really simple. Although it didn't get like massive engagement, it doesn't matter. It's not the point. It's the fact that it got them a bit more reach, a bit more eyes on them, and it was just a really good idea for doing a reel. And then ask for opinions and get the staff involved to get more engagement. So make sure that when you are thinking about how to get your staff involved, think about like Five Guys, get them to do taste tests, get them to do blind tests, get them to do challenges, anything like that. And you can use national days as a bit of a kind of like, what's the word? A hook for your content. That's it. So if you've not set up your account yet, set it up and get started. At maybetech.com, and then tomorrow you will get an email from us with all the links in it where you can see brands head to head on social media. You can get more inspiration, you can book your next round of training, and learn about all the different things that we're adding into Maybe on a pretty much daily basis. And that's it, guys, for me, I think. We hope you guys get the most out of social media. I'll leave the floor open for a minute if you want to add anything into the Q&A. You've been a quiet bunch today, but I know that you're probably all baking in the sun because it is rather hot at the moment. But I hope that you've all had a lovely summer so far, and look forward to bringing some more great stuff from, I think next week is independent retailers. If you are an independent retailer and you want to join, then please do. We're talking about all things independent retail based. I think that's it, guys. Okay, quite a bunch today. Right, have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you all next week. Thanks.